mental and emotional abuse was worse because you can't feel it. It's a mind and a psychological thing. So it's like it's different.
The black eye, I can see.
Yeah,
It's going to heal.
exactly.
What you said to me is never going to.
It's always gonna play.
No matter if you say I'm sorry, no matter what, it's never going to go away.
Feeling like my first real boyfriend, he was abusive, but not like abusive like a grown man, but he had characteristics of an abuser.
Right.
And the things he did, so I can go all the way back then, and then as you grow, it got worse and worse.
Okay. Welcome to Perspectives Unfiltered, where we have real talk, raw truths, and unfiltered views on life, love, mental health, and everything in between. Y'all, I am your host, LaShante, and if you are a returning user, we thank you so much for your support. And if you are new here, we welcome you to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all, today, the topic of the day is called The Long Shadow. We're going to get into it, but before we get into it, y'all, I have a beautiful, beautiful special co-host with me today. My cousin Raven is in the building. Y'all give it up for her. Period. Y'all, I'm so excited to have her here today. I am going to let her introduce herself and talk about intentionally living a little bit. I'm going to put her on the spot, y'all. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Raven, from Lynchburg, a native. I have this, I guess I would say it's sort of kind of an affirmation thing that I send out every day. It's called Intentionally Living. I send it out 7 days a week, 365 days. It generally comes out between 5 a.m. and
Yes,
7 a.m.
it
I wake
does.
everybody up every day. I give people 3 bullet points, sometimes a gentle reminder, a prayer, and then a PS. I started it 2 years ago. I just started it with my cousin. She was going through some things, and I was just like, I need to encourage her. So I just started sending to her every day, and it just started with 3 bullet points.
Okay.
And then from there, she was like, we should send it to our daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, my cousin, my nephew, friends, and then it just snowballed from there. So now I send it from people from the letter A all the way to Z.
Okay.
And I send it to him every day.
Yes, she
and
does.
it's just something that I've been consistent with that God has given me. And it's like, this is my baby. And so it's just taking off from there.
It has. Y'all be in the gym running on a treadmill and mine come through. I be like, Raven, up, y'all. Here she is. So, y'all, I'm going to put her on the spot. I'm going to get you to read your intentionally living from this morning.
Okay.
I want you to read it. So, y'all,
Well,
I'm going to let her.
have
So,
my phone.
that's why I asked her, you got your phone? My phone is going dead. I was going to let her. I want her to read her intentionally living for today, y'all.
Okay. So this is the intentionally living for today. The first point is God built me different. I bend, I don't break. 2, if it drains you, it's not for you. Your peace is the biggest sign of what belongs in your life. Protect it. 3, you really have to focus on yourself right now. Heal from whatever hurt you. Get serious about your walk with God. Fix your mindset. Learn how to manage your money. Start showing up for yourself and become the person you actually want to be around. And then I have a gentle reminder. The gentle reminder is silence is powerful. This is why I don't speak on everything I know. This is why I don't feel the need to over-explain or overly defend myself. I set boundaries and I use my silence to protect my peace. So the prayer for today. Hey God, this morning I surrender my full yes. I will go where you lead. I will pause when you whisper wait. I will pray the bold, uncomfortable prayers that invite real transformation. I will say yes to divine invitation, even when they defy human logic. I stand in authority over my household. Every hidden attack, every silent battle, every cycle sent to wear us down. I command it to break. I refuse to let the enemy gain ground in my family. I speak peace over our minds, protection over our lives, and victory over every unseen war. I silence confusion, I shut down fear, and I cancel every assignment that doesn't carry the fingerprint of God. I don't fight with my own strength. I fight with heaven backing me. My home is guarded, our future is covered, and our name carries purpose. I will not back down. I stand firm and declare the enemy loses again. Hell lost another one. I open my heart wide to receive the blessings, breakthrough, and miracle you've been preparing for me. I say yes, not because I understand, but because I trust you. Forgive me for my sins and shortcomings, known and unknown. Allow me to be a resource. You can trust me. God, don't give me any options. In your precious name, amen.
Amen.
And P.S. Paint whatever picture you want of me and hang it on the wall.
Clock
Respectfully.
it. Hey, I loved it. Y'all, when I was reading this morning, it gave me chills. I said, she coming. I got something for her today. She gonna read
was
this one
not
today.
ready.
She was not ready. I said, she gonna read this one today, honey. Little do she know she come in and read that intentionally living. That thing gave me chills this morning. I said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna put her on the spot
Yes,
today.
she did.
So
She got
yes.
me. She got me good. She got me good.
So yes, y'all need to, if you want to reach out to her, I'm gonna put her social media handles below so that y'all can get in the rotation of that intentionally
Yes.
living, y'all. I'm trying
Yes.
to tell you, when I say, even if it's to the point like I be getting up at 4 a.m. and going to the gym, I be on the treadmill running, y'all. As soon as that intentionally living come, I done ran 35 minutes on the treadmill. And I done forgot. I need to be at home getting the kids ready for school. So yes, y'all, I love
Thank
it. I love it. I love that I'm in
Thank you.
rotation. I put my friend in rotation.
Did you?
Yes, I put her on. Yeah, I be copying it and sending it to her. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So I love it. So y'all, we're gonna get into the topic for today. It's called The Long Shadow. This is about domestic abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. You know, if you out here getting abused in any type of way and you need help, please reach out to somebody that can help. There are hotlines. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Raven.
Yes.
Anybody out here that needs us, we will be more than happy to help genuinely. So let's get into it, y'all.
Let's go.
All right, cuz. So let's talk about different forms of abuse. Do you think one form of abuse is harsher than the other?
I personally do. I've experienced mental, emotional abuse, a little bit of physical. I felt like for me, mental and emotional abuse was worse
Mhm.
because you can't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mind and a
Mhm.
psychological thing.
Mhm.
So it's like it's different versus if someone is pounding you or hitting you, you can feel that. But when it's mental, emotional, I can't feel that. So I don't know how to process it.
Right. Right.
So I feel like for me personally, it's harder.
Yeah, I agree. I have always said, like, I feel like when it comes down to it, when somebody messes with your mental, that's
Mhm.
how you control your whole
Yes.
body. That's how I control my day. This is how I go about my life.
Yes.
So when you're messing with my mental, the way I think, the way I feel, the way I look at things, the way I see me,
Mhm.
it's such a harder battle than to deal with. And I'm not saying that. Oh, I'm gonna deal. I'd rather deal with getting beat up on.
Right. Right.
But the black eye, I can see.
Yeah.
It's going to heal.
Exactly.
What you said to me is never going to
it's
go away.
always going to play.
No
in my
matter if you
mind.
say I'm sorry, no matter what, it's never going to go away.
I still have triggers
Yeah. Yeah.
from my past marriage.
Right.
You know, or like, it could be something as simple as, and I tell my kids this, and I tell Jihad this to this day, like, don't ask me where I'm going or where I'm at. Like, that's a trigger for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a time in my life that was a form of control.
Right.
Like, okay, I could be like, oh, I'm over LaShantae's house. As soon as you get there, it's time to go. I need a ride. Got to do this.
Gotcha.
Or, like being older,
Okay.
because my first husband was younger than me.
Okay.
And he used to be like, you old BITCH. Don't nobody want you.
Mm-hmm.
Who gonna be with you? Who gonna be with you with 2 kids?
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, and I started to really believe that because,
Mhm.
like, who's going to be with me with 2 kids? Like, how do you find a man to be with a woman and you don't have, he may not
Yeah.
have children, or how do you find someone to love your children the way that you love them?
Yeah.
So it was all of those things just constantly played on my mind. Like, am I not good enough? Like, what is it about me? Like, did I not scramble the eggs right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
what happened? So I felt like that mental control, and then to a point, it starts to make you lose who you are. You start to be withdrawn from people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want people around because you definitely don't want people to see it.
Yeah.
Then you stop caring about how you look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went from weighing 135 to wearing a size 0
Right.
because I wasn't eating. I was just smoking weed,
Right.
drinking all day, like just trying to like cope and still just be secluded from everybody. Where I'm not an emotional eater, so I'm a person
Right.
that if I'm going through, I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah.
So I feel like all of those aspects, with that mental abuse, it just still plays in your mind, like,
Mhm.
where you have to start like reprogramming yourself, like, no, that wasn't true. Like, I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I feel like all types of abuse can change you into a different person, but I
Yes.
think that mental abuse is like the worst.
Yes.
I think the mental and the emotional, because once you start to emotionally abuse me and you take that from me, from
Mhm.
us, whether it's friendships, relationships,
Mhm.
whatever. I don't want nothing to do with you.
I
I
definitely
don't want
don't.
nothing to do with
I don't.
you.
I don't.
I can't do it. I cannot
can't
do
do
it.
it.
When you are emotionally abusing me, and I feel like as women, we love hard.
Oh, definitely.
So when you take that emotional part from me,
Yeah, and we're
what I'm gonna do with you?
we're 80% emotional
Right,
and
right,
20% mental,
right,
and
right,
men are
right.
80% mental and
Mhm.
20% emotional.
Mhm.
So our whole perception of the way we look at things is completely different. Like, I'm gonna wear my heart on my sleeve, but you're not, because
Right.
you're gonna think about what you're doing consciously. I'm just gonna go
Right.
because my heart's in it. I'm gonna follow my heart, follow what
Right.
I love, what I like, versus a man. He's gonna consciously think about it and strategize and very calculated. An
Mhm.
abuser can be very calculated
Very.
because they know they
And
see
very
the signs.
manipulative.
Very,
Very.
very.
Okay, so how does abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, verbal, or mental, impact someone in the long run?
I think it impacts someone in the long run. It can make you, like for me, again, bitter, angry, resentful.
Yes.
It make you put up this wall where you try to do you try to create a boundary for yourself, but you end up building a wall, and that wall end up becoming a jail because now you're so guarded and I'm so defensive. Like I don't want to let anybody in. I can't do, I can't do people. So you have this, you set so many boundaries and so many walls up that you're just alone, and you start to be angry. You're angry with the person who did it, then you become angry with yourself because how did I allow me to get into this? Like I'm not her. Like
Yes.
I know if I am. The world perceives me as this very confident person, strong-willed, but inside I'm gentle.
Right.
And so and then when that part becomes taken advantage of, and it comes a point where you only can defend yourself, nobody else can defend you. So it makes you just be like, yeah, I just have it. Yeah, like, God, you not gonna do that to me. Now you're gonna say that. Like, I'm gonna speak my mind now and tell you now, I'm gonna be very blunt with what I gotta say. Like, that's not gonna be no shortcuts.
Right.
And I've had to learn that sometimes the language and the way that you speak to people, you have to be mindful of that.
Right.
And just to piggyback off what you're saying, I feel like when it comes down to how it makes you look in the long run, I think you have a short fuse.
Oh, definitely.
Even when you try to balance that out and you try to heal, I feel like shit that I dealt with 10 years ago, and it took me a long time to process and not deal with that anymore. I'm not doing that no more.
Oh, no.
What took me 10 years to let go, it's going to take me about 2-3 years to get over now. It's 2-3 years. It's not going to take me as long
No.
as it took me in the beginning when I dealt with a situation before. So I feel like in the long run, it makes you harder. It makes you colder. And unfortunately, the people that come behind people that have done messed up things to you, they end up getting the
brunt of it.
Yeah.
And then it's like everything you do, like, you just like, okay, I'm just waiting on the time bomb.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for it to blow up.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like, so every way that you move is like, this can happen.
That
again.
anxiety.
Yeah.
That anxiety be killing you. You be
And
like,
it's
it's
something
coming.
that you didn't usually have, and now you have anxiety. Now you're nervous. Now
It's
you
too good to be
anxious.
true.
You looking around, or just behaviors that you didn't have that you
didn't
took
have
on
before.
just because of the situation.
Yep. I just feel like, and then when it comes down to it, you always looking for something. Sometimes I have to, like, even now, I have to like check myself and be like, everybody don't have this characteristic. It may look like that, but it may not intentionally be that.
Exactly.
So I have to learn to like sit back and check myself for a moment and say, oh, this person ain't that person.
Yeah, like,
so
that's
it's
not
okay
them.
it's okay to open up and it's okay to be cool, but it's hard.
It's
That's
really
a hard thing to do.
It's hard for me even now. Like,
yes,
even with
definitely.
any kind of relationship, like having like a different set of friends and being in a different environment.
Yep.
Like, I'm coming in like, I don't know these people don't
Know
know me,
me.
and I ain't coming in here to
Mhm.
meet these people.
Hello.
I'm coming in here to get what I need to get, and I'm going home.
Yep.
It's my intention is not to meet no new people or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And then it comes a point where you like, what does that serve? Like, you don't need everybody, but you need somebody.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you have to allow that wall to come down. Like, these aren't them, and I can't treat them like
Like
that.
that.
I have to, and that's what I was telling you earlier. Like, before we got on camera, like, it's just, I'm just in a season of grace. Like, well,
Mhm.
I know how things go, so it's just like,
Mhm.
I'm more like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, people that really do something wrong to me, no, it's no
Yeah.
grace.
Yeah. No
I'm gonna
grace.
debt you like
Yeah.
I never met you.
Right. Right. Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
no harm, no foul. Excuse me on camera, but you dead to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm really good with that.
Yeah. Me too.
Right? I've
Cuz. Me
told people
too.
that. Like, I've had an
Me
argument with people
too.
and like, yo, you dead to me. Like, what
Me
you just say? You
too.
dead.
Mental funeral.
Yeah,
Bruh,
I'm
quick.
already at the repay.
Quick. I didn't ate.
I'm at the
I-
fact. Yeah, we all sad now.
Facts. Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
trying to tell
and
you.
that's something that I'm learning to work on too, because I hold grudges.
Mm-hmm.
And I can hold them so long that I forget why I don't like you. Like,
I was
shit,
having
I
that.
don't even remember like what happened. Like,
I had that conversation. That's I said that on the podcast with me and Lyric about holding grudges.
Mhm.
I do, bro. Bad.
I do too.
Bad. And
I
I,
will
I
hold a
pray on
grudge.
it. I pray on it. But like I was saying then, I only hold grudges to people that have done something to me, and I know I have been genuine to
Yeah,
them.
and I loved you.
Love, yeah. If
I
I loved you
genuinely
and you
loved
crossed
you.
me, you out here telling secrets, and I'm still holding on to yours, bro. You are dead to me.
And I've always been that friend. Even now, it's still secrets that I
Who
hold.
you talking?
It's people that I know that I could have been relentless and ruthless with. I don't even have no more juice, but if I had some juice, I would sip it right now. Like, but I let it slide because it doesn't justify who I am, because I'm solid.
Yo,
I'm solid.
I'm telling
You not
you.
solid. And
I'm
now when
telling
you
you.
see me, you got to think about that every time you see me. When you
Mhm.
see my growth and you see where I am now, you got to think about that.
After all the storm, after the storm been
After all of
cleared
that
and
and
it comes
everything, the
and
dust,
everything
and then I
calmed
come back
down.
up like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, allow me to reintroduce myself.
Huh?
Because you don't know me no more.
Huh?
You don't know me. So I know what that's like. You know what I'm saying?
Telling you.
Friends, you need money and I only got $100 and you tell me you need 75 and I give you 75. I'm going to Jihad and ask Jihad, like, I need this. Making sure you can move, or,
Mhm.
making sure you eat, or in the middle of the night, I'm answering my phone. Stuff like that people forget about. Like, oh, how soon do we forget? And then I'm the type of person, I'm a vibe person. So you don't even have to tell me that you've done something to me. Your movement's gonna tell me, because I got a spirit of discernment, so I know how to discern that.
Right.
So I see it. I already see it. So instead of me even saying that, my silence is powerful.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And my silence is I'm really good with that.
Mhm.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm not even gonna argue with you. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Boom, you block. You never hear from me again.
And this is the thing too. I hate when it comes down to like in dealing with people and then people or other people being involved or knowing what's going on. If I have blocked a person, unfriended them, and I no longer, that means I no longer want to hear what they got to say, see what you don't have to come to me and remind me, oh, so-and-so posted this. I think they was being subliminal. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn.
I don't care what they
I don't
post.
care. If I wanted to know what they posted, I wouldn't have blocked them.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have unfriended them. I wouldn't have muted them. If I cared what they said, I wouldn't have did it so I could see it myself.
Or I'm going to let you see how great I am.
There's no point. At the end of the day, I'm grown. Whatever I got to say to you, I'm going to call your phone. I'm pulling up. I'm going to say it.
I'm definitely going to tell you
I
what
don't
gotta
feel the
say.
need to get on social media and make no posts and
post.
I'm not doing all of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
I'm not doing all of that.
We too big.
Bruh. Too big, too
big
grown.
Yeah, too grown. We too big of an
I got a
age
daughter getting to
where
be
we think of
18. What? I'm
I got
not doing
one
that.
21 that's graduating in 29 days.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
19, get ready to be 19.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Like, that's what I'm not going to
doing no arguing with you online when we got the phone. We can pick up and gossip. We can pick up and do all that. We're not doing that.
Off. And I've always been a person, one band, one sound.
Hello.
So I don't like you. I don't like your friend. I'm blocking you, your friend, your mama, your daughter.
See, I ain't like that.
Oh, I'm like that. I'm blocking the whole.
I'm not like that.
Oh, I'm blocking everybody. I'm blocking everybody. And I even,
you're the worst than me.
And my cousin always tell me, she'd be like, Shine, you can't do that. Like, because I'm the type of person, if I don't talk to you no more, it's very few that I have one friend, one person that used to be my friend. I still talk to her kids. But outside of that, I don't even want nothing to do with your children. Because see, my children, they already know if they don't like your mama, they don't like you.
Yeah.
I give you permission not to speak to them.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
Now, and that I'm just a person, I'm just gonna cut it all the way off because you hurt me.
Right.
You hurt me.
Right.
Like me, like come on, like
Yeah, I feel that. I feel
I mean,
that.
it's some relationships where you've been with people for over 20, 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah,
this what we on now.
that's what we doing? Yeah.
So that's part of that emotional and
Yeah.
mental abuse because they
Mhm.
know you, so they know your triggers. They know
Mhm.
what to do, and then you keep saying, "Oh, that's just Lashante. That's just what she do." No, that's
Mhm.
not normal, Lashante.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we back
Facts.
friends,
Mhm.
and then we fine 2 or
Mhm.
3 years, and then
Mhm.
we go right back.
Go back. Mm-mm.
Like it's just a cycle of abuse.
Yeah.
And
Mm-mm.
I'm
I'm
no
good.
longer doing that.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm too old for that. I'm good.
Too
I'm
old.
good. I'm good.
Too old.
So, have you ever dealt with abuse before? And if so, how
Absolutely.
did you recognize it?
I've dealt with abuse before, but I didn't know that it was abuse until I was already being abused.
Right. Okay.
And for me personally, I can think back all the way to 8th grade,
Okay.
having a boyfriend in middle school.
Okay.
Punch you or
Mhm.
like talk trash to you. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Little things like that.
Mhm.
So I can go all the way back to 8th grade
Mhm.
where like really feeling like my first real boyfriend. He was abusive. But not like abusive like a grown man, but he had characteristics of an abuser
Right.
and the things he did. So I can go all the way back then, and then as you grow, it got worse and worse and
Okay.
worse. But yeah, I felt like that I've experienced abuse since like 8th grade.
Mhm. Mhm. I think for me it was probably about the 10th grade. Probably. I think yeah. The same. I didn't recognize it was abuse. I thought it was cute to be
Oh
outside.
yeah, somebody snatch you and
Snatching you up, putting you in the car, you outside on the street, up in Rivermont back in the day.
yeah.
Your
I was
boyfriend
up on
come.
early.
Yeah, your
At the
boyfriend.
other end of
Yeah,
early.
your boyfriend come snatch you up. I thought that was cute back
Mhm.
then. I didn't
Yeah.
know that it was abuse. I
Yeah.
thought it was it's just he
He
just
love
care.
me.
Yeah,
And then your
yeah.
friends like,
He
girl,
don't
he's
play
something.
about me. Yeah.
No,
Not
it's
realizing
abuse.
that it was abuse. Yeah.
It was abuse.
Yeah, and it went from being a teenager to being grown,
Mhm.
and then starting having bruises, and then my kids are getting involved, and
Mhm.
yeah, now I realize I'm in the middle of an abusive situation. You know what I'm saying? And still not really knowing no better to
No.
get out of it, thinking that it's cute
Because you think
or
that it's normal. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what your normal is.
yeah,
And then it come a point one day you look in the mirror like, who is this?
yes.
You look at yourself and be like, yo, I don't even look like me no more.
Mhm.
Like I looked like dead.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how I knew, like, just started looking at myself like, ugh. But I
yeah,
really didn't. And honestly, to be completely honest, it took for my mom to die for me to see all of the bull crap I was in.
right.
Like all of the toxicity that I had
Mhm.
been in.
Mhm.
Relationship after relationship after
Right.
relationship after relationship. Like now to where I'm by myself, I'm with self. Because it's a difference. So I shouldn't say by myself. I
Right.
was with self.
Right.
And I'm starting to look like in the inside. Because now I got to reflect on who are you? Like you're
Right.
not just Eva's daughter.
Right.
You're not just Lou's daughter.
Right.
You're not just Snooky Tootin' Lady's little sister.
Right.
Who are you?
Mhm.
Like who are you?
Mhm.
Because for years I suffered from imposter syndrome, always
Right.
trying to fit in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was always too hood for the bougie girls, too bougie for the hood girls. I grew up in Greenfield, so that's my whole life, right? My mom raised me different. I was raised in Greenfield, but I won't, I grew up different. I had structure. So then she moved me out, but I'm still going there every day. All my friends there. I'm trying to fit in over here, then I'm trying to fit in over here because I got a new set of friends. I leave, I go to school. I learned something totally different in Norfolk State. I come back, so it's
Right.
always been that tussle
Mhm.
where I'm trying to figure out who I
you are.
am.
Mhm.
And so when she left, I had to now really look at myself like, and it's
Mhm.
ugly.
Yeah.
It's ugly when you start healing and you come out of that shadow. It's
Mhm.
ugly because people post on Instagram and stuff. I even see people I know, they be like, oh, I'm on this healing and self-care journey. And, they post a bathtub with roses and they have that
Mhm.
little table they have in their tub. I want
Yeah,
one of
me
them,
too.
with the
They-
wine and stuff.
Yes, I love that little table.
Like,
The little bedside table.
Like,
Yeah.
girl, this ain't the healing that I went through. Because the healing I went through, I
Was
been
ugly.
laying in the bed for 2-3 days funky. Crying.
Facts.
Eating,
Facts.
rolling over
A
popcorn in
fact.
the bed.
A
You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
A
Can't
fact.
eat. Like I want to die.
Right. A fact. You ain't
Screaming.
A
Hair
fact.
ain't done. House messy.
Fact.
Ain't done nothing, clothes piled all up. Now, see,
Facts. A fact.
so you get to that, and then you realize that, okay, so what about me made me be here, made me go through this, and accepted it, and it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started realizing, like, okay, never had a father.
Right.
Always wanted a father.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for that. And that ain't everybody's story. That's just my
Right.
story.
Right.
You know, I remember, my friends had dads.
Right.
And one of my girlfriends in particular, her dad, I used to go to her house, he make her sandwiches. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We take her daddy to the community market.
Right.
Just those things that I long for. So a lot of those things, I'd never seen a healthy relationship either. Because my mom wasn't married. And when my mom was married, my stepfather was mean.
Right.
He was emotionally abusive and mental. My stepfather used to take the fuse out the house.
Wow.
Like, why you take the fuse?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember one time my mom had we had French doors. I lived on Durn Street.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of Durn. In the back, we had French doors. And he left my mom somewhere. My mom had to get a ride from her homegirl. And we come home. And my mom, my brothers, all of them did karate.
Right.
So my mom kicked her leg through the glass door, almost sliced her whole ankle off to get us in the house.
That's crazy.
So I grew up seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the baby. So it's a 10-year age difference between me and my sister.
Right.
So I didn't grow up with them.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up as an only child. So it's a difference. All of them grew up together.
Right.
And then I grew up different from them.
Right. I got you.
Because my mom was just finding her way with them. When I came, my mom already had it together.
Right. Okay.
So I seen how my stepfather, I never had a relationship with my dad. My dad was a dope fiend. So I never had that.
Right.
I remember him saying he gonna pick me up. And I remember him coming to my cheerleading game, like cheerleading, and KB Toy Store used to be in the mall.
Right.
He'd tell me he gonna come pick me up and never pick me up. And I'd be sitting at 816 Greenfield Drive on the front porch. And he never came.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this, is what I think is normal. The first healthy relationship I seen was my brother and his wife.
Yeah.
And they've been married over like 27 years. So you think 20-something years ago, I was in my 20s. That's the first time I ever seen a healthy relationship.
Mm.
So abuse has always been there, even though you try to say, oh, I'm shielding my kids. No, I seen that.
Yeah.
She may not know.
Yeah.
She the one thinking at the time that I seen it, but I seen it, and I seen what it turned my mother into.
Right.
Because to this day, I can say it now, I feel like that's how my mom got cancer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because my mom was bitter.
Right.
She had a lot of grudges.
Right.
And she never healed from that. So, stuff like that manifests in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's just like the trajectory of it.
Right.
To how I can say from where I was to where I am now. And in order for me to be right here, right now, Raven, she had to go.
Right. And see, I didn't see my mom getting mentally abused, emotionally abused, physically abused. My daddy left when I was like 8 months old, and I didn't meet him again until I was 13. And then he came and took me for like a summer, took me to Niagara Falls, took me all these places and stuff. And then he had when I met I had 7, 8 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
When I went down there to meet him. And then he dropped me off when I was 13 and I never saw him again. But I never saw that from my mom. My mom's boyfriend that she was with up until he passed away never talked bad to her, never put his hands on her. If they ever had arguments, I never heard it. So for me to deal with being physically abused when I got into my first marriage, I think I was looking for something that I felt like my mama couldn't give me. Mm-hmm. My mama, it was real hard to the core. Like my mama was not one of the mamas that I would always say that I love you. Not one of the moms. My mama, I never saw my mom cry up until till I was 22 years old, and he dropped dead in her house. First time I ever seen my mother cry. I was sexually abused.
Oh wow.
I was molested when
really?
I was when I was a little girl. Went on for quite some time. I didn't see my mama cry then. I'm pretty sure she did, but I was young. I was like maybe 7, 8, maybe.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so I think when I grew up, I grew up a lot before my time. I
Mhm.
think back then I had counseling after being well, I don't know the proper molested.
Yeah.
I had counseling, but I think that back then counseling was not as good as it is now.
Yeah. Because it's not the norm.
Right.
It's the norm now. Like,
Yeah, because I was
happens.
really like sexually and hyperactive. I developed
That's what I'm saying. Were you hypersexual after
Yes,
that?
I was very hypersexual after that. I developed quicker than other girls. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like in the 4th, 5th grade with big boobs and
Yeah.
a big butt because of what happened to me
As a
as
baby.
a little girl. My innocence being taken away as a little girl. So I think a matter of all that and another reason why I stayed in my first marriage as long as I did. In my mind, I remember telling myself, if you stay with this man, no other man will be able to come in and hurt your 2 girls. I have 2 little girls. So in my mind, I always felt like ain't no man gonna come in here and sodomize or molest my 2 girls because their daddy is here. Their daddy is not going to do that to them. So I think I stayed in that situation for so long thinking that he was going to trying to protect my children, but it won't healthy for me mentally or physically.
Yeah.
So I really don't know, and I'm still working through that through therapy now because
Do you think it define how you treat men? Like,
I think it
or
depends.
like the type of men that you go for, like that, like like. Well, now you're married, but prior to you being married, do you think that it had like an effect with your relationship with men?
I think
Like that kind of abuse.
yeah, I do. I feel like back then I was very I don't know. I feel like I was all over the place. But once I got with my first husband, like I said, I just stayed there for a while. More or so because what had it happened to me in the past. And in the Black household, that stuff is not really talked about. I feel like my mama did everything she was supposed to do for me as a young child going through what I had went through, but I didn't go through just a little sexual harassment. I was actually sodomized.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I feel like I really I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what made me stay in the situations other than the sexual abuse. I feel like I said, I feel like I had to stay with him because this man ain't gonna hurt his 2 children. As far as like the men that I dealt with after that, I've always been like real funny about bringing men around my kids.
Oh, yeah, I'm real funny. Like
bringing men in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been really funny about that. I had a phase. You know, everybody goes through the phase where we have our friends. We have our go through that phase where we have our partying friends.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've had that.
And my house used to
house
be
was the party house.
my house was the party house, and
Yeah.
my house used to be rocking. I don't
I
regret
got
any
everything
of
you need. I got the bud,
the
got
weed,
liquor.
got the liquor, everything.
Yeah, they
Right.
gonna come through.
So we
like,
had
yeah.
a time. We used to have a time, be up to 6, 7 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
We used to have a time, but I knew men were going to be there, so I always made sure my girls were never there. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I want to happen is I'm in here getting turned up and something happened to one of my kids.
Right.
And how am I knowing that what I went through and what it has done to me mentally? What am I going to do? And I just noticed like here recently, trying to work through that trauma that has happened to me, things are starting to like come up now in my marriage that never bothered me before. And I think it's because I buried so much of what happened to me and tried to forget it and keep going on. That was the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like what's like I've never been I've never been molested or anything. Now I have had somebody, I have been raped,
Right.
at a older age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I have always with my daughter, because she was so quiet.
Right.
And in my mind, I always said, if somebody was to molest one of my kids, they would go for Taya.
Right.
Because she's quiet and she gonna shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not gonna tell anybody. So I always was very protective of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never let her spend the night in nobody's house. I never. You can spend the night over here. And she used to always get mad at me like, you never let me stay. No, because I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I just knew growing up hearing stories. I've had family members that have been molested.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing stories about it. So I'm like, okay, so I just always protected her. But I have been sexually assaulted,
Right.
raped.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just say the word.
Yeah.
I have been by somebody I thought that was cool with me.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that does something to you when you
Mhm.
violated like that. You
Mhm.
know, you violated me.
Mhm.
And I done everything I could to fight you.
Yeah.
And then I can't fight no more.
Mhm.
You know, and that goes back to that abuse. And then, you know, it start playing on your mind. Like, what did I do? Should I not have went over there to smoke weed? Because I
Mhm.
just went to get high.
Mhm.
Like, we done smoked together before.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, so now that victim mentality from being abused is coming in. Like,
Mhm.
okay, what did you do? Like, you shouldn't have went over there. You shouldn't have went by yourself. You know, and then you don't want to speak up
Mhm.
because you don't want people to be like, oh, well, you ain't had no business over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, so I think all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm carrying that victim mentality like more so now. I was just talking to my therapist. I'm like, my daughter is getting ready to graduate high school and she's talking about going 8 hours away to go to college.
Mhm.
And I be watching her. We go to Walmart and I be watching her. She just looking at the shelves. She just walking. Ain't watching her surroundings.
No self-awareness.
Nothing. You gonna go down there and they gonna snatch you up and I'm gonna be looking for you.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's my biggest fear.
But you got to let go of that.
I am. That's why I'm dealing with it right now in therapy. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm going to let her go, regardless. I'm going to let her go. But
you
I
have to
just want
trust
her
her
to. Yeah,
and
I
her
want to
instinct.
trust her to be able to say,
Mhm.
I ain't going to. I'm not going to get in Walmart at night in my car and just sit there for
Mhm.
15 minutes. Get in your car, drive off, and
Mhm.
go.
I
out.
trust me. With Talia going
Yeah.
3 hours away, you know,
Yeah.
when I left her that day, it was just like,
Yeah.
even now,
Yeah.
Talia could be out. Like, I know when she get back to campus tonight, she said, you know, they got probate tonight, so they got everybody crossing over. She going out tonight. And I'm not going to be able to sleep until she back in her apartment.
Right. Right.
Now, see, I look at his location. He in Roanoke, Virginia. Now, see, what are you doing in Roanoke?
Right. Right.
And I'm texting him. He's like, I'm at a party. I'm like, nah, see, I'm like, all right, at 1:30. Go ahead, like, start getting your
That's-
homeboys together. Keep your head on swivel.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
She just
wait
went to
till
a party
2
last
o'clock.
week. I said, what time the party in?
Yeah.
It ended at 2. Okay, you need to call Uber at 1 o'clock.
Like, you got it. He like,
1:30
Mom.
outside.
Then
Let's
I'm
roll.
calling Talia, like, Mom, leave him alone. I'm like, no, like, I don't want
No.
him to get shot like he in Roanoke. You know, I don't want
Yes.
everybody to be like, oh, they pretty boys. Because my son and his friends pretty boys. They ain't nothing
Yes.
street about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't want anybody still off on them.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, I seen this when I grew up. Like,
Yeah.
with boys like him, like
And
the
they do
boys from
that.
Glass
They
beat up
do
the
that.
boys from Heritage.
They do. They do. They used to do that all the time.
You know, so we have to learn to let go.
Yeah.
And it's hard, though.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I'm dealing with that in therapy right now because I got to prepare myself
Yeah, it's hard.
because I don't know what it might do to me. Something happened to my. Oh Lord,
It ain't.
that's the
She
anxiety.
covered. Yeah.
And I watch too much crime shows.
Me too.
I need
Girl,
to get off
Snap,
this sofa
First
watching First
48,
48.
Dateline,
I'm
Cold
watching
Case
too.
File.
And we be in the car. My kids can tell you we be in the car and they'll do something. I'll be like, that's what happened to that woman on First 48.
Yep.
That's what she was doing and now and look, you doing the same thing she doing.
Yes,
like
one night Jahar woke up. He was like, I had a dream. He was like that. I got killed. Like I was in a car. I was like, Jahar, that was the First 48 last night. He was like, that's what I'm saying. You need to stop watching that stuff. Like I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
I go to sleep too.
Yeah,
Like,
I do too.
I'm turning it right on oxygen at
Do
123
too.
when I go to sleep at night.
Me too. I love it. So why do you think people stay after being hurt the first time?
Because you want to forgive them. And it's okay.
Mhm.
People go through things. I
Yeah.
know I stayed in my marriage. My first marriage, I was married for 7 years. He cheated for 6.
I was 12, 13, I think.
He cheated for 6.
He
And
cheated
then I always stayed, you know, like, and I mean, I stayed like, you know, it's going to get better. You know, then you look at older people like,
Mhm.
okay, they've been together 25 years. So if they've been
Mhm.
together this long, they went through things.
They
You know,
went
old
through
people like, I
things.
went through this with your dad and your
Yeah,
granddad.
mhm.
Like, you know, so I think that's the part that makes you want to stay. And then you don't want to hear nobody say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know, so you stay, you know that it's not the right environment. I knew
Mhm.
that I shouldn't have been there. I knew when I got married. I got
Mhm.
married at a jail.
Me too.
So, like, I
Me
knew
too.
then.
I'm just
I mean, I went to the jail and got married, bought my
Me
own rings
too.
from Walmart.
Me too. Me too.
Like, girl, that was wrong right then.
Me
The only
too.
thing we got was an extra couple minutes in the visit.
I ain't even get that. As soon as I said I do, we said I do. They walked them to the back. I walked over to the back. The left. They talked about
I'm
husband
going to the
that
jail
night.
every week, every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I done went to the jail, girl be at the jail. Like, now who she going to see?
Yeah.
We both going up. She looking at me. I don't even know. Then we sit down like, oh, then
Let
I got
me
to show
tell
off
you,
in there.
yes.
And then leave. Then he called me.
Yeah.
I'm still putting money on the phone. Like,
yeah.
nah. Then come home, he still cheap.
Still,
I had girls bring babies to my house.
honey.
A baby. Left the baby on the porch. On the porch.
That is
Like,
insane.
oh, okay. And then I had another girl come say, I got a baby. You got a baby? And then that one ended up really being his baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
no.
okay. And that was the day that I left.
Yeah.
And I never looked back. But it took all of that trauma. It took me leaving him. I left him. I moved to Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, a month later, he in Maryland with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Maryland. I'm working. I'm bringing him back down the road so he can make a play.
Right.
We go back to Maryland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just the same toxic. Till one day,
So what are some common tactics that you recognize that abusers use to control their victim?
always want to be around.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't going, you ain't going. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, and then you know when you start saying, I'm just going over here. You don't mind, do you?
Yeah.
And you just saying it because you feel like I'm in a relationship with you, so I need to tell you where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common tactic.
Yeah.
And then, well, I don't want you to go. Or you start saying, well, I'm going to have such and such come over today. And no, I don't want no company. Starting to seclude you. And I think little stuff like when they get mad and withhold stuff from you. Like, I ain't going to do this because I'm mad at you. Or I ain't going to talk to you. Like, for me, like, silent, like, because I know for me, being silent is something that I use against people.
Right.
I use it in my own relationship. I won't talk to you for about, me and Jahar can walk around for 3 days. Make me mad. I'm not talking to you.
Fact.
And I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really not.
Nothing. I'm not saying a word.
No, and be like,
Mm-hmm.
Me and him got into it one day in front of Lyric. And I mean, he had stomped upstairs in front of her, like, talking and stuff like that. And I was like, don't you ever do that to me.
Yeah, John. I'm going to show you something
And
today.
telling us to be quiet. He was like, y'all need to be quiet. Like, and Lyric looking at me like auntie. And I would hold up, don't talk to me that way. I went off. Yeah, and then I didn't talk to him for a whole week. And then Lyric left, and I heard outside. I texted. I was like, "Now I know you ain't talking to the ops out there. Like, girl, don't be talking to your uncle."
He done hollered out the window. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. After you done left, he laid you and me out.
And now you want to
You
go
were
outside and
stomping
talk
too
to
up
him.
here. Yeah, and then you can go outside and talk to him. So I think like stuff like that, like that's a common tactic. I think pushing you.
Mm-hmm.
A little pinch here and there.
Mm-hmm.
A little like,
Mm-hmm.
like, all right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's sexy.
Yeah.
Everybody like a little choke.
Yeah.
But when that thing start, like when they get like,
We're going in here, you doing too much. Take your hands off
yeah.
it.
So I feel like all
Facts.
all of that. I feel like all of that is a common tactic.
Yeah,
of,
I think
of an abuser.
I think things like manipulation, like manipulating you into not wanting to do certain things, wear certain stuff, say certain stuff. I think trying to twist what you are, like you trying to make me think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I know this is what's going on, but you're trying to make me think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I know this is what's going on.
I know the sky's blue.
Yeah.
But you telling me that it's green.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying, is it green?
Mm-hmm.
A question. I heard somebody. I was looking at this thing about abuse and like narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like a common question. It just did a general question like, is water wet or dry?
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of stuff. Like I know it's wet, but is it dry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's a common tactic.
Like, do I believe what I believe? Oh no,
Mhm.
I do believe you. Or well, LaShante just saying that because she don't want us happy.
Yeah.
But she want me happy. She don't care about us.
what you. Mm-hmm. I'm care about my girl. Yeah.
but I'm gonna make
Mhm.
sure she okay. You know, and I
Right.
had a relationship with a family member like that. Like I seen her boyfriend, and I told her like what her boyfriend did, and she was like, and Shine said,
Oh
okay,
no.
yeah, I did.
Oh no.
So now
I can't tell you nothing
he's gonna
else.
withhold you from me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and it's been instances, you know, like even taking it a step further where I've got involved in my friends' relationships. And I had to tell a friend, like, the moment that I said something, I knew our relationship changed. I knew it changed instantly because I shouldn't have said it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making me ask people, like, should I have got involved?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the type of friend I am, like, I want you to jump in for me.
Right.
Like, you see me getting ready to crash out. If you see something ain't right,
Yeah.
because if I see Rashad, I'm telling.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
And I'm going to look at him like,
Yeah. Facts.
I'm telling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And matter of
But
fact, I'm going to call right now.
yeah, and that just depends on the dynamic of the person.
Yeah.
It
Now,
yeah.
if he don't want me around, he don't got to have me around, but I'm coming over when he ain't here.
Right. Hello.
And if it's a
yeah.
crowd I'm coming, we can stay on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah.
But that's just, and I have to realize, you know, sometimes I forget that I'm 46.
Okay. Look good.
And I'm around people that's in their 30s, that's in their
Mhm.
20s. So I see stuff that they don't see.
Right.
But then I come off like, you doing too much, like, yo,
Mhm.
chill.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
You're a little bit more seasoned than them. So yeah.
So I see stuff before you
Mhm.
see it, and I'm trying to put you on. Like, you don't even have to go by my advice, but just
Mhm.
keep in your mind. Shine said,
Yeah. Yeah.
she told me,
Yeah.
you know, because when you in that, you don't know. And I know when I was in it, I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
You know, my cousin would try to tell me, my cousin Missy, you know, be like, girl, you need to leave. Like, Missy was somebody
Yeah.
that's like, I'm going for mine.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, like, ain't no nigga controlling me. Like,
Yeah.
and then she see me and it like, her and my ex-husband used to argue. Like she'll be like, oh, come over there.
Really?
He like, come on. My mom. And you know how my mom was.
Yeah.
I mean, one time he was like, I gave Chantel, you know, Chantel was like, you know, if you know me, you know Chantel. Like, I
Mhm.
gave Chantel such and such. My mama said, that's nothing.
Mhm.
She said, I can spend $5,000 in 15 minutes. Okay, Eva. My mom would come over busting the dough.
Mhm.
You know, because they seen all of this.
Yeah.
They seen it,
It's
but I was
familiar.
so caught up in it. And no harm, no foul. And I love my sister. I love my mom. But I didn't want to turn into neither one of them.
Right. Mhm.
Right? I didn't want to be my mama and be by myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be my sister and be with somebody that I don't want to be with
Right.
for my children.
Right. Right.
So it's like, how do you figure that dynamic out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, my sister is in her 50s, and I'm so proud of my sister that my sister's living.
Yeah. Living. Yeah.
My sister's living. She's not existing. Like, we go to concerts. Like, my sister never been to the Elks.
Okay. Me neither.
Hmm?
Me neither. I ain't never been to that.
Girl, I love up them steps.
I ain't never been up the
I ain't
steps.
been in years.
I
ain't
went
been
and
since
stood in
before I
line to
hit
get up in the steps one time for 4 hours and ain't get in. About 3-4 hours, yeah.
See, but I'm telling you, I like up them steps. I ain't been
I ain't
before little
been.
Jihad. Last time I been when I didn't have Jihad yet. Me and Bird went. But like little stuff like that, my sister had
Mhm.
never done.
Right.
And now, you know, I'm so proud of her to see her like thriving because she's been a
Yeah.
mom and
Mhm.
a grandma and,
Yeah.
you know, a wife.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I seen my sister lose herself. That
Mhm.
ain't, when I was a little girl, you know, my sister went to Shaw, would
Mhm.
come back and bring me jeans that had like drawings on them and
Yeah.
swatch watches. And my sister had big chains and
Mhm.
big bamboo earrings. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But as she grew up, I knew that I didn't want to be her.
Right.
And I knew that I didn't want to be my mom.
Right.
So how do you find that balance
Right.
of being who you are? So in that process, I stayed with my abuser
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, he was a good father.
Yeah.
He was a great provider. He just was a horrible husband.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He just didn't take care.
And people don't understand that
he
can
loved women.
yeah, that can coexist. I don't
It
know.
definitely can
People don't realize, yeah,
coexist.
he's a good man, he's a good dad, but he could be a horrible husband. Everybody don't have those characteristics.
Everybody don't have that.
People got to understand that.
Everybody don't have that. And he took care of his home. He took very good care of me and them children.
Yeah.
He was very present in the household. But he loved women.
Mhm. Mhm.
that was our issue. And I feel like, now if I would have met him now, it would be different.
Right.
I met my husband. When I met him, I was in my 30s. He was in his 20s. When I met him,
Okay.
he didn't even have a social security card.
Okay.
Right? I met him. I just had Taya. I lived in Charlotte. I'm just coming back from Charlotte.
Okay.
I don't, I see him. He on the block. Who
Mhm.
is that?
Yeah.
One pants leg up like, oh, I'm on that. Who is that?
Facts. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it just went on and went
Yeah.
on and went on. So it's just like, you get in those situations. But like I say, you don't know that you're abused until you abuse.
Yeah.
And it has
Mhm.
nothing to do with you as a woman.
What person?
But we all fall victim. Not everybody. It's some
Right.
women that's strong enough because it's some people that grow up different.
Right. Yeah.
You grow up, you don't see that.
Right.
Like I say, I never seen my stepfather hit my mom. I never seen that. But now that I'm old enough to process what was going on
There was still
then,
some type of abuse going on. Right.
he was abusing her. Like I said, he
Right.
took the fuse out the house,
Right.
would leave her. My mom and his mama didn't get along because my mother was older than her husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had 4 children.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when my mom met him, I was like 10.
Okay.
So that was my daddy.
Yeah.
And then when my mom divorced him, I didn't like my mama
Yeah.
because you took my daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do stuff in school, so he would have to come to the school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's all that manipulation
Yeah.
where, he was still manipulating my mom after that. So abusive. It's so tricky.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
tricky.
It's a lot
It's
to
tr-
it.
It's a lot of dynamics.
It's a lot. Yeah, it
It's
is.
a lot.
Do you feel like domestic violence isn't taken as serious when it's a man?
Oh, definitely not.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Because I know men that are abused,
Yeah, me too.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I know men.
Yeah.
And it's some mean women.
Yeah.
And it's some good men
Mm-hmm.
that mean women
Yeah.
get a hold to.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. I know
Mhm.
it personally. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but nobody talks about a man being abused.
No.
And men don't even they experience sometimes they experience physical, but they really deal with mental and emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Like
They do.
you sleeping downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Because it's a lot of men, men aren't confrontational
Right.
unless he's sassy.
Right. Yeah.
And don't nobody want no sassy man. I don't.
I damn sure don't.
My man's silent and strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't need him to say no whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
fire, he the ice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I've seen that, and it's hurtful because they be so controlling, and it's like, you gotta, like, girl, he fine,
Mm-hmm.
look good, smell good.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just so many men, like, it's so many men, so many men that just go through that, and we don't care that it's men. Like, men
Yeah.
get, I had one of my friends, I was talking to one of my friends not too long ago, and he was telling me, he was like, man, I messed with this girl messed with me when I was like 13.
Mm.
Like, she used to come over my house,
Mm-hmm.
and it was his like a friend of the family or something. And
Mhm.
I was like, you been molested.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
you were molested,
Yeah.
and nobody protected you
Mm-hmm.
as men. You know what I'm saying? So nobody says anything. And I had to realize that, I feel like when me and Jahar first got together, I was verbally abused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna pop it.
Yeah. I feel like I still have those times
Oh,
in my situation
definitely.
right
I
now.
go
Yeah.
off.
Me too. I would go off.
And see, I'm like Joe Biden. Go low, I go to hell.
That's me. That's me.
And
Yeah.
you stays, and I know my husband. I'd be like, "Fat ass, hate you. I hate it here."
A fact. A fact. Yeah.
So it's been times where I verbally abused him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, we can retract and say I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it plays in his
It
mind.
still sticks with
Like
him.
me and him got to arguing. This was like when we first got together, and I had just had Lil Jihad, and I'd be like, do this, do that. Like, and he was like, you a lazy bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I always think
Think
about
about
and
it.
I'll tell him that.
Mhm.
He'd be like, come on, like it won't.
That's old, yeah. But it's still
But
that mentally. That what you said to me. It sticks with me mentally.
it's still there. And I know that
Mhm.
he didn't mean it the way that I'm
Mhm.
there, but I'm still holding that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that, like abuse can be very subtle and quick. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think it comes from both parties. But men, I feel like that men, nobody, how we say black women are the most unprotected women in the world.
Mhm.
Black men
Black
are
men are
very
too.
unprotected.
Mhm.
You
I saw
know.
this guy. I was on TikTok the other day, and he was like, he posted the video of him, I guess, and his baby mama, and she was in the kitchen, like, just like grabbing him from the back, slamming him on the floor. I mean, like, beating the hell out of him.
And he ain't gonna hit her back.
He didn't hit
Because
her
he been
back.
raised, I don't hit back.
And he kept walking off, and men in the comments was like, what you posting this for? This whack. That's a woman. That's a woman. And I'm thinking, like, y'all, this is domestic abuse
Yes.
at its finest. This man is going through a domestic violence situation, and y'all on here making it like. But if this was the man on here beating her like that, the way she
it
beating
would have
him,
went viral. I mean, everybody would be talking about it. Lock him up. He would
yeah,
have went to jail.
yeah. But because it's her, it's not. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree.
It's sad.
I agree. How do you think people can better support their friends and families that's dealing with abuse?
I think that we have to show up for people in whatever way they want.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't just come over here and protect you and argue with your husband and want to fight your husband and disrespect your home, disrespect your children.
Right.
I can't do that. Like, whatever way you want me to support you, if that's you calling me at 2:00 in the morning and he at work, excuse me, and it's our time to talk on the phone, if that's what support looks like,
Yeah.
then that's what support is. And I think so many times that we just want to jump in
Yeah.
because I don't want to see you hurt, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm fearful
Yeah.
because I want to protect you, and
Yeah.
I don't want you to go through this. I don't want to wake up in the morning and they tell me something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
I don't want to go to the ER.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to come over here and he done sliced all the furniture up, and then
Yeah.
we got to clean up all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I want to protect you from that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see
Mhm.
you get dragged down the steps like
Yeah.
how Ike did Tina and drag you in the bedroom. I
Yeah.
don't want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we have to show up for people, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard
Mm-hmm.
because we know what we want to do, but you have to be there to support people in whatever it looks like.
Yeah.
If it looks like you're not calling me until he not at home, wait for me to call you.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's what it got to be.
Yeah. And I agree. I had a friend call me
know?
not too long ago, and she was like, "Hey, can I come by your house and,
Mhm.
and talk to you?" And she came out here, and I went outside in the car, and I could tell she had been going through something. And I
Yeah.
was like, do you want me to talk, or do you just want me to listen?
Yeah.
Like, what is it that you want from me?
Mhm.
And she was like, I just want you to listen. I don't want you to say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't say a word. I just listened. I hugged her, and I said, the only thing I am going to say is if you need somewhere to stay,
You can come here.
you can come here. If you need me to come pick you, call me a couple
Mhm.
times, because I be in bed by 8 o'clock, 8,
Mhm.
9.
That's me. I go to bed early.
Yeah, but just call me, whatever it is that you
Mhm.
need, and let me know what you need, and I got you. I just listen,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, people, you can see your friends and family going through things like that, but until they are ready to take that next step to either get out that situation or whatever escape looks like to them,
Yeah.
ain't nothing that you can say.
There's nothing that you can say.
Until
and then
they
you
tired
don't
and they want to
wanna-
leave.
You don't want them to not have trust in you.
Yeah,
You don't want to lose that trust
Yeah.
and that vulnerability where they can come to you.
yeah,
Because that can happen.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
you act like every time I call her, like I ain't gonna even call her. Like I'm just gonna deal with
Yeah.
it by myself. No, you can call me. Like
Yeah.
if you don't want me to say anything,
right.
I don't have to speak. But if you just want to hold the phone, whatever that looks like, and I think that's what we have to do. Like you have to show up for people in whatever it look like.
Mhm.
Like everybody can't be saved.
Yeah, yeah,
But whatever you need from me, I'm here.
yeah, yeah.
And that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I agree. So being that you went through like abuse, and me too, what do you
Mhm.
think is like the first steps into internally healing?
Being honest.
Yeah.
You have to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to look at yourself because we so quick to say, well, they. But sometimes we have to say,
Yeah.
I did this. I allowed this. I did. It has to come a point where you have to say I. And
Mhm.
until we accept responsibility for our own behaviors and our own mess, nothing else is going to matter,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you got self. You can't escape self. Like, I can't
Yeah.
escape me.
Mhm.
I can be with you all day. But when the rubber hit the road, when the lights go out at night, I'm with self. I'm looking at
Yeah.
myself in the
Oh,
mirror.
yeah.
So I have to be honest with self.
Mhm.
And until we can be honest with who we are and what role we play
Mhm.
and what we allow,
Mhm.
then nothing, we're never going to heal. Because, like I say, healing is not what we talked about 30 minutes ago with the flowers and all of that. That's not healing. And we go into
Mhm.
conventions. We can go to
Yeah.
Woman Evolve
Mm-mm.
all day with Sir.
Yeah. But you still gonna walk out of there with
You
them
still got to
demons.
come home. You still got
Mhm.
them demons you got to deal with. So for me, is just being honest and just allowing vulnerability, which is hard.
Mhm.
Um, and just allowing yourself to be open
Yeah.
to hear people and allowing
Mhm.
yourself to be open to people.
Yeah.
I think that's the step. And I think sometimes, and rehearse your testimony. Speak about
Yeah.
it. Stop
Mhm.
holding it in, because see, the devil lives in secret and darkness.
Yes.
So see, as long as you not verbalizing it, he can play on your mind. But when you speak it, he has no more power.
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to verbalize, this is what it is, and this your
Yeah.
testimony. So as long as I continue to say it,
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to live in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to live in my truth, because I'm going to say, like, okay, I was an addict, right? I was addicted to weed. I've been smoking weed since I'm 7th grade, right? I've been smoking every day except for when I had kids. That's what I do. I had imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? This is what I done. I like to party. I love, like, you have to speak about those things that you want to fix, because if you keep holding it in and thinking that it's a bad thing about me, how is it ever going to change? I was abused. I've been sexually assaulted,
Right.
right? I have. But if I don't speak about it, and like you don't speak, like, I have been molested, I have
Mhm.
had this happen to me,
Mhm.
how can you heal yourself if you don't
Mhm.
allow your voice to be spoken?
Mhm.
They took your voice a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So now is your time to have a voice. The only good thing about being an adult is we don't have to keep harping on being a
Mhm.
child. Like,
Yeah.
now we got a voice. I had to tell my husband that.
Yeah.
He grew up where he was a child outside of marriage,
Right. Okay.
right? So I grew up with his family.
Right.
They went to my church. And he told me, he was like, yeah, I used to call them and they wouldn't answer the phone. She'll hang up on me. And I'm like, I know these people. They
Yeah.
went to church with my mama. We grew up together.
Mhm.
And I'm telling him now, like, you grown now, though.
Mhm.
Call over there.
Yeah.
Lay down out.
Yeah. 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 Mhm.
So that's the good thing about being an adult, that we can now stand up for ourselves.
Ourselves.
You can
Yeah.
stand up for Little Designee. I can
Mhm.
stand up for Chantel.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I can speak for her now. I
Yeah.
can articulate, because I know how to communicate
And it's
now.
my story to tell.
And you can't tell my
Yeah,
story,
you can't tell it. And however it affected me, you can't tell me how it
because my
affected
truth,
me.
my truth. And don't
Yeah.
negate my truth.
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. Like, I be like, like, if you want to have a real conversation with me, like, we can have a real conversation. Like, I want to have but if I would have a real conversation, I want to lock the door
Yeah.
and go in the bedroom and we really have a real conversation.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't negate my feelings and I don't negate, because your truth is your truth.
Right.
But if I don't know your truth,
Right.
how am I gonna respect it?
Yeah. 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 I think one of my biggest things, and I tell all of my friends that call me and they're calling me about the same thing over and over again. It comes to a point of time where you can only expect what you accept.
Oh, absolutely.
If you are continually showing a person how they can treat you and how they will treat you, the saying is so true when they say, if you give a person an inch, they will take a mile every single time. And it is so true,
Mhm.
because the moment you allow somebody to disrespect you and walk over you, they will try that again.
Yeah, because you allowed
They're
it.
going to try it again. So they're only, as long as you are accepting that behavior, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to do it
Yeah.
constantly.
And it would come a point you can't compromise.
Yeah.
And I think that's something, I guess that's why, like, I enjoy this, where I'm at now in
Yeah.
this age. because it's like you come 40, you don't care no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this my truth.
Yeah.
This what I'm living in. I'm
Facts.
not compromising.
Mhm.
I don't need this. I don't have to do that. I don't want none of that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that comes a point where you have to realize, like, okay, like, am I willing to compromise this that I'm going
Mhm.
through? Am I willing to say that this is okay? Like, is this really okay?
Yeah.
Like, is this everybody don't have
Yeah.
boundaries? And,
Yeah. I didn't until here recently.
me neither.
I ain't have none to like just here
Me
within the
neither.
last, I would say 3-4 months.
I've been creating boundaries,
Mhm.
more and more and more. I just had a friend a couple weeks ago, like called me on some like rah-rah, like, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. You know what? You got that,
Mhm.
right? Keep that energy.
Mhm.
You keep whatever energy you got and whatever you projecting on me, you keep it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bow gracefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
got to worry about me no more.
Mhm. You ain't gotta
Have a
worry about what
good
I'm doing
life.
and not doing. Yeah. Mhm.
Like, but don't put an expectation on me that you don't hold on yourself.
Huh?
Because what you want from me, you ain't.
Mm.
You want this from me. What you giving me?
Mhm.
Because I'm bringing the table to the table.
Mhm.
You ain't brought nothing to the table. Because I mean,
Mhm.
I'm the one that's pouring,
Mhm. Mhm.
and my cup get empty. Who pouring into
Who
my
pointed
cup?
your yeah.
I'm going to church getting my cup poured into on Wednesday night, Sunday,
Mhm. You ain't
online,
gotta tell me.
learning, seeking.
Hmm.
That's how my cup getting poured, and that's Bishop is pouring into my cup. I'm learning boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm learning that, oh no, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm changing and I'm transforming, and I have changed,
Yeah.
right? But just because I'm changing and becoming a better person doesn't mean I'm going to allow you to be your doormat. You ain't
Yeah.
going to walk over me because I'm still shining. She's
Yeah.
still in here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still do. I
Yeah.
wrestle with my flesh every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not going to sun me.
Yeah. Back.
And now I'm more assertive because now I know what I expect, and I know the
Yeah.
expectations that I have for people that's around me,
Mhm.
because I'm changing every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said a while ago, allow me to reintroduce myself. You don't know me.
Mhm.
I've changed.
Yeah.
And even in the process of changing, the people that abuse me in relationships as far as friendship, they're not my friends. They're my friends, but they don't come around.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now it ain't no weed, it ain't all of this, and we ain't partying, we ain't playing spades, we ain't doing this. Them people don't call me no more.
Of course not. Of course not.
Mm-mm. You want to go to church? Girl, I ain't got time to go to church. Got to wash clothes tomorrow.
Mhm.
Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want you to come meet the people that I'm meeting now.
Mhm.
Come over here for a minute. Come, come see what's good. This ain't saying that I don't still go through stuff,
Yeah.
because I still go through everything just like everybody else. I still got my vices.
Yeah. We all do. Yeah.
But I'm trying to be better.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm being better because I look at myself and I see myself.
Yeah.
And I know I look different. My
Mhm.
language is different.
Yeah.
The way I carry myself is different. Everything for everybody. So I'm mindful. I'm mindful of where I go now. I'm mindful of the environments I'm in. I'm
Mhm.
mindful of the people that's around me. I'm mindful who come in my house.
Mhm.
See, my old house, people could come in and out.
Yeah.
I let my friends come over on Friday, come over on Saturday. Now you don't even need to know where I live at.
Mhm.
Like these people would never come into my space again. And I remember being in church, and I went up for prayer, and the elder, he said, "You let something dark in your house." True story. My word is my bond, my bond is my light. And I knew exactly who it was when he told me that.
That's crazy.
And this is when I'm just in the process of just starting to get
Find your
myself
way.
together, just
Yeah.
trying to find my way, like trying God again, And it started to make me think, like, all the spirits I was letting in my house, the energies,
Mhm.
the people,
Mhm.
Your wedding, my wedding. We had over 200 to 300.
So, we had so
So
many.
many people there. Everybody show up. And
Mhm.
then when it's time for the transformation and the
Mhm.
big reveal, none of them people show up.
Mhm.
And it be the people that you least expect to be in your corner that's in your corner.
Mhm.
Because all
Mhm.
those other people, they gone.
Yeah. Came for the free
You know.
food and the drinks and the good time and to be nosy.
That's it. But then after
Mhm.
that, where everybody at? When my
Mhm.
back against the wall.
Yep.
And I'm struggling with self, and I'm trying to figure out this thing called life, and I want to be better because I know it's something better for me, and I'm gonna do something different. Where those people at?
Mm-hmm.
They leave, and it's okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
And I'm so thankful now that to be in the space that I am because I feel like God has put me in a season of like isolation, and it's been very lonely. It gets lonely, and it's
Yeah.
been lonely, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay because everything that left has been replaced with better replacements.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Was so much better. So
Yeah.
those things that left, I don't even miss
Yeah,
them. And now
yeah.
I'm learning how to be better.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be a better friend,
Mm-hmm.
a better mom, better
Mhm.
wife, better sister,
Mm-hmm.
better cousin.
Fact.
It gets better.
Yeah.
How
can someone rebuild their self-esteem and confidence after being in an abusive situation?
I think you can rebuild by just, like I say again, it's all about being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And it's okay to become something different. It's okay to rebrand yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
To find something, find what you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what you like. Because a lot of
Mhm.
times when you're in those abusive relationships, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You may not know that I'm into books and I like
Yeah.
to write
Mhm.
or I like to hike.
Mm-hmm.
I like to just go on long walks. I
Mhm.
like flowers. I like plants. Like
Mhm.
whatever it may be. Allow yourself to be on a new journey.
Mm-hmm.
Things smell different.
Mm-hmm.
Things look different.
Yeah.
So it's okay to rebrand yourself. It's okay to become something totally different.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody has to
yes,
hold you
yes.
to a standard of who you were.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's who I was, but that's not who I'm becoming.
Mm-hmm.
And who I'm becoming is much greater than who I was.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to accept me for this person that I am. And this person comes with boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
This person comes with standards. This
Yeah.
person knows who she is and can
Mhm.
articulate who she is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
I think
what you gonna do?
I think rebuilding self-esteem is just remembering who you was in the first place.
Yeah.
This ain't people. We become great people, and then we go through trials and tribulations that turns us into something else. But staying true to who you are, your morals and your ethics, and the things that you believe in, the things that have been instilled in you from your grandmama and your mama and your great grandmama, helps with building your self-esteem and just knowing that other people can write your story.
No, and you have to allow yourself to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Allow yourself to evolve.
Yeah.
And it's scary. And nothing
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
is, when you change it and
Yes.
becoming better, of
It's a
course.
scary thing. It's
scary.
strange.
Because it's strange because nothing is the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am in an environment now where came from a world where everybody know me. I'm
Right.
that girl
Right.
to somewhere that they don't even know who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now I'm feeling I gotta show them who I am. Like,
Mm-mm.
and you have to realize that that's not what I gotta do. I just gotta come in and just be myself. And the things that's supposed to gravitate towards me
It's gonna
will
do that anyway.
gravitate towards me. So, being in the my cousin Spanky always tell me, like, learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that to me one day, it was just like, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at a point now where I'm comfortable, but I'm uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay because I'm finding my footing, and where I am, it feels so right.
Yeah.
And I know that this is where I'm supposed to be at this moment in time. Everything that I went through was for this
Moment.
right
Yeah.
here. And I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at somebody and say, what is God? You can look at me and say, that's undeniably God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could look at me and say that because
Mhm.
everything that is about me and where I am now has nothing to do with this. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with me because it was up to me. I wouldn't do none of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this ain't got nothing to do with me
Mhm.
because this wasn't my plan. I only
Yeah.
came to church because Breland asked me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And to get him to stop asking me
Mm-hmm.
because you keep asking me
And
to
then
come
look
to
how it can
this
change
church.
your life.
And now I've done a whole 360. You know what I'm saying? Nothing so this is undeniably him.
And I think what another thing people need to realize is when it comes down to stuff like that, when people know you,
Mhm.
people know Shine, people know
Mhm.
LaShante. People are always going to stick to the old you,
Right. But I'm not her.
especially when you are not allowing them access to the new you.
Exactly, because you can't.
They're going to do it all the time.
Yeah, you can't have access.
Oh, well, that's
to
how
this
she
one.
was. This what she did.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's
and
what I used to do. I
Yeah,
did do that.
I did, and I enjoyed
But
it.
that's not who I am now.
That's just not who I'm. And I enjoyed every bit
And
of it.
unfortunately, you're going to lose the best access that you could have had to
You would
me.
never have it to me again.
Never.
You would never. That's why I say you always have to re-meet me. If you met me yesterday, you
Mhm.
got to re-meet me.
Yeah.
Because
Fact.
I'm not the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I do is different.
Everything.
My
Every day.
conversation, everything about me is different.
Every day.
I'm not the same.
And conviction is something.
And you
Conviction
convicted
is
because it
something.
ain't bothering me.
Yeah, it's conviction.
Like, I'm
is something.
good.
Yes.
You
yes.
know, I know you see me.
Yeah.
You see me. You can't help but see me.
Mm-hmm.
But see me from over there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will never get here. I have a 3 feet of personal space. So you will never get close to me again. You will never come into this again.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been praying for you. Like I put in the
Mhm.
intentional living the other day. I knew I became a better person when I prayed for people that prayed on me.
Oh, prayed on me. And not prayed, but prayed on me.
P-R-E-Y.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know that I'm becoming a better
Yes.
person, because I still pray for you.
Mm-hmm. Even though you prayed on me.
I still pray for you. I still wish you the best. I still ask God.
And do it genuinely.
Genuinely. And I still ask God, because you don't know what you did, but
Mhm.
you know you got to be careful what you say about me.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
You got to be careful, because I'm a seed of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful how you talk about me. Don't
Mhm.
mishandle me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know where I am, and I can walk boldly in that. Yes.
Mhm.
Do I still fall short? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Am I going to
Of course
continue
we
to fall
do.
short? Absolutely.
Of course we do.
With every new level comes a new devil.
Of course we do. Of course we
right?
do.
So, but I'm still growing, and I know that God got me right here,
Facts.
right here. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like through everything, the abuse, the manipulation, being used, tormented. I've been
Mhm.
bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of that to this moment right here where I can stand in my truth.
Yeah.
I can stand right here, right now, and be completely vulnerable with you and transparent. And I don't care about the thousands and thousands, millions of viewers that see this.
Yeah.
That I'm still true to who I am, and I'm always
And
going to
gonna
be
stay
true
true.
to shine.
And gonna
Big
stay
shine,
true.
not the
Period.
little one.
Come on now.
Clock it.
Come on, cuz. Come on. Period. Y'all better hear it.
You
Okay?
know?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Period. This was good.
Girl, this was the
This
bomb.
was good.
This was the bomb.
Y'all, just a little unfiltered. Y'all, we had to take this again.
Yes.
We took this months ago, but the audio wasn't good, so we had to redo it. And we've been having a hard time. The devil was
I mean, every time we supposed to do it, something
something
coming
come
up.
up. Something come up.
Every
this
week.
is good.
But it was
And
meant.
stuff was coming up today too. The camera
Yep.
kept going off, but I'm trying to
We
tell
got
you.
it.
It's
We
all right.
did that.
Yes, we did. Tell them your social media so they can get some intentional
All right.
living.
Social media, Instagram is Raven Chantel. Facebook is Raven Jackson. Hit me up. TikTok is Raven Chantel, and it's Chantel, SHUNTELL. And Raven, RAVEN. Hit me up if you want intentionally living.
Mm-hmm.
Message me, whatever. I'll be happy to add you to the list.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Intentionally living, Black Girl Life.
It's coming, y'all. It's coming.
It's
2025.
coming.
We ain't waiting no more.
2025.
It's coming.
All gas, no brakes.
Period.
LaShante has inspired me.
Y'all, she got to do it. Come on.
Just to see you do it.
Yeah, come on, cuz I told you. You got
Just to see you do it.
Let's
And
do
I
it.
mean, just to give me that opportunity a couple weeks ago, just to step out, because people have no idea.
Y'all, she was shaking in her boots.
Yes. And then
I walked in and I looked at people was trying to talk to me. I walked straight to her.
Yes.
I said, don't piss me off.
And and it's so crazy because I was telling Lyric, I'm not scared to speak in front of people,
Mm-hmm.
but I was scared for people to hear my stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's your baby. I
That's
feel it.
my baby.
This is my baby, so I feel it.
So that was
I
the
feel
part. And just to step out there and just to get, what I heard back, the feedback, and it's just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the things that has been coming, just doing this today. And
Mm-hmm.
just knowing, I had a conversation with my cousin, Spanky, like I say, like that's like one of the biggest influence in my life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the level of respect I have for him. And me and him was talking the other day. We were sitting outside, and he was like, so what's going to happen if you don't do it?
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to be talking about it. He was like,
Still
exactly,
talking
so
about
do it. Invest in yourself. What's the worst case scenario?
Mhm.
Today, when he knew I was coming here, he messaged me like, go in there and be yourself. Be
Mhm.
true to who you are.
I said, I'm gonna get her this. I said, I'm gonna get her.
Yeah, and it's just like,
And everything happened for a reason. My phone went dead for a reason.
yeah, like, okay, like God, like I see
Go
how
ahead and put you on the spot.
yeah, you aligning things the way that they supposed to be.
Mhm.
So I'm just like humble. Like
your
I'm
year.
so appreciative
Your
of
year to
you. Yeah,
thrive.
this it.
You gonna do it this year.
This it.
Every
All
time I do
gas.
something, intentional living gonna be up
in
there.
the building.
Come
We
on
in the
now.
building.
Period.
We in the building.
Okay, y'all. Well, that is it for today. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all can connect with me on Instagram at perspectives_unfiltered__. Like, share, and subscribe this video.
Like, share, subscribe.
Period. And if you know someone that can hear this, that needs to hear this message, or that you would like to share this message with, I ask them to like, share, subscribe. Also, y'all, I'm getting tongue tied. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Peace.